Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Thread. So excited to be here, and we got Shavuos coming this weekend, Thursday evening. Abby, you excited for Shavuos?
Yes, you know what? I love all the Yom Tovim, of course, and I like the way this one comes out in particular. Every Yom Tov, falls out in the calendar in a different way, and this one happens to be. I mean, I think of things in terms of, relaxing and enjoying the Yom Tov, and I also think in terms of the impact that it has on our business, which I'm sure you do the same thing, and a lot of people do the same thing. There are people that work in the non-Jewish world, and when it comes to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, sometimes they're off 11 days, and nobody understands what's going on. Nobody understands where the guy disappeared to. For 11 days in the month of September or October,
Yeah,
and it's nice when it comes out on a Thursday night and it flows into a weekend and a Shabbos. And
for sure, for
my
sure.
father used to always like to say that. The Shalosh Regalim, on Sukkot you can eat whatever you want, but not where you want. And on Pesach you can eat where you want, but not what you want. On Shavuos you can eat what you want and where you want. So
Beautiful.
that's
Yeah,
that's a
people love it. They say good things about Shavuos. It's a good holiday. Something I want to talk about today, something very interesting. A campaign is going on right now, led by the Tzedek Association.
okay.
They lobby for many different things, including most notably jail reform. Um,
Yeah.
but the thing they're working on right now is they are trying to get insurance companies
hmm
to pay for infertility treatments.
Oh,
So
yeah. I read
supposedly
about that.
this happens this happens in many other countries, if not all of them, where they see having children as a something that the insurance company should pay for. Besides for America, the average couple that needs to have a child going through IVF has to spend $42,000.
Wow.
So you have an organization like Boneolam. I spoke to someone from Boneolam. They're paying $1 million a month on IVF treatments.
The
So figure
organization is
12 mil. Yes, figure
wow.
$12 million a year is going towards paying for these treatments that in many other countries are being covered by insurance. So Tzedek is in Washington,
hmm
and they are lobbying through various senators and congressmen to get the insurance companies to cover it. I think
Well,
it's a noble fight.
I think they should be able to get it done. Listen, the government is a little bit out of control today, a little bit hefker, and they're doing crazy things. They have hundreds of billions of dollars stockpiled away from COVID still that they don't know what to do with. And one of the
Right.
one of the one of the part of the negotiations about the budget on the deficit, which is going on right now, if you read about it, is what to do with all those hundreds of billions of dollars that were allocated for COVID relief and for schools and for teachers, and they use all the money they can, and they don't know what else to do with the money. So what the
Yeah.
Republicans want to use that money to reduce the deficit because the country is over $30 trillion in debt. But the Democrats
And by
want
the
to keep
way,
spending money.
yeah, I don't know if this is I imagine this is a bipartisan issue. I think I don't see why
Well,
Democrats would be against having insurance companies paying for infertility treatments. Um, I think that and it's not to say that you know all these organizations are spending so much. Can you imagine if a time in Boneolam and Pua, if they were able to raise the money they're raising and be innovative and find different treatments they can give and have insurance companies pay for that? We're talking about the difference of lives being created versus not being created. I think that if insurance companies are going to pay for diabetes treatment, which is to save a life, and they're going to pay for cancer treatments, which is to save a life, if they're going to pay for dialysis, which is to save a life, why can't they pay for IVF treatments, which will create a life?
I think I'm
Why
I'm
not?
sure. Yeah, I'm sure part of what Tzedek has to do is, of course, educate congressmen and senators about the importance and the emphasis
Yeah,
on family life. The society that we live in, not just in the United States, but unfortunately in Europe and other countries, is really moving away from the conventional family life and trying to normalize the opposite of family life. But I think if they are successful, they have to first educate, I think, our elected representatives to demonstrate to them. And I think they know how important the family structure is in Jewish life. But I think they have to reemphasize it to them that we have not been affected the way the rest of society has been affected to just be wild and running in all kinds of different directions.
I think that part of me feels like in 2023 it's crazy to have to convince a body of government that family is important, but at the same time, if you look at where we are and the way society is, family is so somewhat underappreciated and undervalued that it's no wonder that we're here. It's no
Well,
wonder that we're here.
yeah, it's a no, it's a wonder that we are here. You mean? I think it's a wonder that
Yeah.
that society is still functioning in some semblance of
Yes.
relatively. I'm not going to say normal, but close to being normal. That just goes to show you how strong the family structure is, with
Yeah.
all the currents and the winds blowing against it. It shows you how family is strong and really is the foundation of a successful society.
Yeah.
What else you
But
got?
did you see about this this I see from Dov Bashevkin here on Twitter, and I saw
Mm,
this last week, and I want to bring it up. He writes, "Such a privilege to sit with the Sasson Codex, the oldest, most complete Hebrew Bible." And then he
mm,
subtweeted. He said that Mazel Tov to whoever bought the Codex Sasson. It sold for
Sassoon,
33 point. Is it Sassoon? Because
probably. S
Sasson.
I think it's Sassoon.
I don't know. Anyways, this thing was sold for $33.5 million.
Yeah. Well, that's Judaica. Has very
That's crazy.
very very. Listen, that's very valuable. It's a valuable piece of Judaica. It's an antique, and it's a piece of
By the way, they
the
have a whole
history.
yeah, they have a whole website. They have like these auction sites like Genazim where they have first editions of the Mesilas Yesharim from the Ramchal and first edition this safer that safer, and they auction it off, and it goes for 20, 30, 300, $400,000. It's really incredible. But I think it's like a certain niche that people who are very interested in Judaic history having these items.
You have to be a collector. And I have paintings at home that my father bought in the 1960s for a few $100s. And that's worth a lot of money today. He bought it from an artist who was an older gentleman in those days and no longer around. And his art is very valuable. Of course, we're not selling it,
Yeah.
but we've been offered tens of thousands of dollars for each painting.
It's like Joe DiMaggio's card, right? They should make a song about you.
I listen. You know why baseball cards are so valuable? Because everyone's mother threw them out after they left the house.
Mm,
I had
there.
all those cards you see today that are going for $500, $1,000. Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, whoever else, Willie Mays. I had those cards. I remember those pictures. I remember them. But when I got into my 20s and I got married and I moved out, my mother went into my closet and found boxes of baseball cards. Boom, into the garbage.
Yeah.
And everyone's mother did the same thing. So the few mothers that didn't throw them out now have cards that are worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, did you see this video of the famous Shabbos Goy from Lakewood, Dan?
Yes, yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I did see that. Yes. Uh,
Let's roll the tape for the listeners and the viewers.
Hi, my name's Danny. I'm your neighborhood Shabbos Goy. Let me tell you a Misa. I was given a name at work from one of the guys that run the synagogue there. He told me that Rabbi Forsheimer would be the best person to get approval through as far as starting my service. So I tracked through Lakewood until I could find him, and somebody directed me to his office. And I've never been into a synagogue before. There was a big line of guys there waiting to see him. And I asked, how do I get in to see him? And they showed me a big board with a whole bunch of names, how to see. I signed my name on it, and there was a guy behind me who wanted to know what I was there for. So I told him what I was there for, and the door opened. So he said, go in front of me. So I just jumped in, and I said, can I get a minute? He smiled, and he said, please come in. So the guy that was behind me asked, can he come in too? I said, sure, this is for everybody. So I talked to the rabbi, introduced myself, told him what I was doing. Showed him my flyer and everything that I wanted to go, explained to him how I would do the service and everything. And he told me to change a couple of words. I went and changed it, brought it back. He signed my flyer. So after showing the rabbi my flag and told him everything. Once I got the signature from Rabbi Forsheimer, he gave us his blessing. I told him, I said, Rabbi, you're the first person here. Let me get you started with the flag. So he said, yes. I got his home address. And the next day, we went over to his house, knocked on the door. He opened his door, big smile. Happy we showed up. We found a spot where we got it, and he's had a flag ever since. He's the first one in Lakewood that's got a flag. It's $25 a month. We give you the flag, and if you need our service, you hang the flag, you stick it on your door or your window. When I come by at the specified times, if I see it, I'll come to your door, knock. You let me in, we'll go take care of your service. We come around twice on Friday nights. We come around 3 times on Saturday. It's a set time, so you know what time to have your flag out, so that, we may come later than that time, but have it out by that time. Next hour comes when I come back by again. You need me, you put it on, and we'll be back there again. Same thing on Saturdays. We offer to do it on Passover and every other holidays in between. Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah, that is all included in it. And the Shavuos is coming. It's a Thursday. We'll be doing that as well. The first of the month, every month, you'll receive an email or a text from us. Do you want to continue with the service? We'll keep the service going. We're going to be all year round. It doesn't matter. We'll be there. Every holiday, whatever it takes. When we come around for Shabbos or whatever holiday, there will be a yellow light on the dashboard of our car, so you know we're coming. We try to come to your door to save you the convenience to come out in the rain looking for anybody or, stuff like that. We come to you, but if you lose your flag or, you see our car, you see us coming down the road, you see that light, you come out, you stop us, you get your service. And obviously we'll give another flag, but this is to let everybody know, your friends know, if, they're not signed up. If you need us, come out. We'll be happy to take care of your service for you, and we'll just leave a flyer in your mailbox or whatever for you. You can get in touch with us when the holiday's over or Shabbos is over. We do know the whole system. I've been doing this for many years, so it took me a while to figure it out, but we are very good at figuring out the hints. We know how it all works. Shouldn't have any problem with anybody as far as.
All right, now see, there's a couple of problems here, Nafi.
What's that? First of all, is this real? Is this satire or is
No,
this
no, I
legit?
think it's legit.
Wow.
Now,
Okay.
there's a few problems here. Number one, he seems to have a good grasp of Hilchot Shabbos.
He does.
What?
Probably better than a lot of a lot of a lot of from
You
Jews.
said that, not me. Okay, just for the record, you said that. I didn't say that. But I think what's going to happen if he converts to Judaism? If he gets so enamored with halacha and with Shabbos and Yontif, what are they going to do if he converts? They're going to hold.
Then we have an
That's in
issue.
Lakewood,
We
right?
haven't.
You said that's in Lakewood. Is that where that's taking place?
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
to get that. It has to come to Brooklyn still. It has to come to the Five Towns. It has to come to Muncie. There's a lot of areas that he could branch out into. He could be a very, very busy guy.
I'm not convinced that this is real. I'm not convinced yet.
I think it's real. It looked. I saw the documentation from Rabbi Forsheimer. I was reading it on the screen. Now you see,
That's absolutely
there's
unbelievable.
a guy we know. By the way, I'm not going to say his name, but he's an older gentleman, and he lives in Rockland County. Let me just say that, okay? And many, many years ago, he married a non-Jewish woman, and he had a son with her. And then years later, she converted, and they had another son. So she converted. She became from he was from. So he had one son that was a Jew and one son that wasn't a Jew, and the neighbors knew that. And they used to come to their house to get the non-Jewish son to turn the air conditioning on, turn the lights on. And he told me the story. Amaisa Shahaya. He told me the story that people used to come to his house when his frum son was when his non-Jewish son wasn't home, and they would ask the son to help. No, no, no! Don't ask that son. Not that son. He's the Jewish
Wow.
son. Only the non-Jewish son could do things like that. And this is the next level of that type of thing. So what is the thing that is going to be needed for in the summer? Air conditioning, right?
Yes. Yes. Your air conditioning goes off. I'll tell you another thing. You forgot to shut the fridge light off. You go to
Okay,
shul. You're like, oh
right.
no, my light in my fridge is on. The oven light.
The oven light now, but the fire on the oven, the blech and stuff like that is much more complicated because it
Yeah.
involves cooking. So unless the guy's going to stay there and make scrambled eggs for you for breakfast, that's a whole other potential complication. I think I don't know Rabbi Forsheimer, but I guess he's a posek in Lakewood and he's a respected posek.
Right.
And apparently, he's got to be people that don't agree with doing this because this is what you call proverbial slippery slope. You know,
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
once you're allowed this, you're allowed that. The guy turns the AC on. How many steps are you away from when it's on already and it's not and it's getting too cold? You just turn it down a couple of degrees, and then eventually it
Yeah, but
goes off.
you see how he says that he knows all of the hints. Like he's done this for a long time. He knows all the hints. But here's a halachic question: do the hints, are they still hints if you know that they're coming and someone's going to be hinting to you? It's not a hint.
I think you should call your rabbi tonight and ask him if he knows a hint is coming. Is it a hint?
But I think this is a joke. I don't. I hope that the people listening to this can clarify for me whether this is real
Well,
or
why
not.
don't you call somebody that you know in Lakewood, and why don't you find out? Call Rabbi Forsheimer, or call someone that you know. You have a lot of friends in Lakewood. Tell them that the Meaningful Minute, the Daily Thread investigative department is calling, and you want to know what's going on.
Yeah, but here's another thing: who's gonna want to have a flag on their front lawn? It's like, are you gonna get your kid into yeshiva if you have a flag on your front
No,
lawn?
it looked to me like he had stickers that you put on your door. Not really. He calls it
I
a
don't know.
flag. Looks like you put a sticker on your door. It's like when by Yetzias Mitzrayim when they put blood on their doorposts,
Yeah,
and they're this way. That's why it's called Passover because those were the houses that were passed over on Pesach, and they didn't have to visit Makas Bechoros because they had a thing on their mezuzah
yeah.
on the side post of the door frame. Anyway, what else is new? What else are you up to?
Not too much. Not too much. How about you?
Busy? Yeah. Well, listen,
Yeah.
it's a little bit. It's a normal week, but it's still a short week. We're very Yontif conscious. I think Shavuos is busy. A very busy day today. Baruch Hashem. The Five Town Jewish Times is coming
Yes.
out late Wednesday. We'll be out about a half a day earlier than usual, so we can get the paper distributed in time for Yontif. And we have a lot of interesting things happening, and listen, in Eretz Yisrael, it's a little bit more challenging. They're used to a one-day Yontif there, and now they're kind of stuck with 2 days because Yontif is Friday, and it goes right into Shabbos. So
Right.
that's very unusual there. Usually, Shavuos is a one-day affair in Eretz Yisrael,
Not this year.
and Pesach is one day, and then you have a long Chol Hamoed, then you have the last day, then you have Shvi Shal Pesach and Achron Pesach rolled into one, and all of a sudden now here there's only one other possibility, by the way, where you can have a 3 day yontif in Eretz Yisrael. And that's Rosh Hashanah. If Rosh Hashanah is Thursday and Friday, then you have 3 days: Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. So Israelis are freaking out a little bit because they have to buy extra challah, and they have to buy extra dips and stuff like that.
One thing I just came from the house of Shlomo Ari Gazin from Zusha and recorded a special new series of meaningful people that we're putting out this month of Shabbos. It's called the Spotlight Series, where we're speaking to people who go viral or are in the spotlight in the world. So Zusha, the band, has recently gone viral because they started making music from household items, and they have blown up on social media.
Really?
This song that they created, I'm about to show here on the screen, has close to 10 million views already.
Let me see.
Yeah, that stuff has been going crazy
Mm,
viral. This type of music. So we sat down with them to talk about like the process. Like literally, their following has grown by 100,000 followers. It's really
really?
really incredible.
Looking at an interesting story about from Israel, if you're interested in knowing about, it's a story that Benjamin Netanyahu, had spoke twice with Saudi King Mohammed bin Salam, twice about normalizing relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia. That's
Nice.
a big step in the direction of Mashiach. I want you to know.
Okay, Pesach in Saudi Arabia next year. Is that what we're looking at?
Well, first of all, people did Pesach in Saudi Arabia. Not no, they did it in Dubai this year. Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia. Saudi Arabia is
Saudi Arabia is a different story.
Saudi Arabia is the next big step. It's a big step if Israel could open up relations of some sort with Saudi Arabia, because earlier this year, Saudi Arabia established diplomatic relations with Iran. So
Oh wow.
they have steps in the direction with even though Ukraine and Russia are blowing up, we are taking simultaneously steps in the direction of world peace. Believe it or not.
Mirza Shem. That's really interesting. I wonder what happens to the relationship between Saudi and Iran if Israel and Saudi Arabia have a relationship. Does that
Well,
go?
that's the whole idea. The whole idea is Iran is economically, going down the drain. They need help from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, Qatar or Qatar, they have the money. They have all the
Yeah.
money, and Israel has the technology and the education and the ideas, and they need a combination of all those things to have a successful society. And
I hear
Even
you.
Iran needs that, believe it or not, because there's 80 million people in Iran. How long do you think they could keep them starving and desperate? They can't keep them like that forever.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. We'll
Anyway,
see how that
yes,
develops.
it's nice to see you. Nice to see you again.
Likewise.
We'll see you tomorrow, I hope.
God willing. And if you're listening, like I said, that campaign by Tzedek is going on right now. We'll put a link in the description of this episode. They need your money to be able to lobby and to affect change and have the insurance companies pay for these treatments. They need your money. If you can donate the gematria of neshama, nun shin mem hey, that's $3.95. Nun shin mem hey, $3.95. That'd
That's
be very
great.
appreciated. You'll get maybe you'll get a free shout out on the daily thread. So donate $3.95 and then send us an email at thedailythread@meaningfulminute.org, and we'll make sure to give you a free shout out for your business or for yourself. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to the Daily Thread. We'll back at you with another episode tomorrow.
All right,
Have a
have a
great
great
day.
day. Bye.